Good evening, guys. It's Marshall. Good afternoon, rather. And if you're new to the group, every Friday I do a little thing called Marshall's Minute. And this is where I actually share my own journey over the last week and what I have been discovering as I've moved beyond my own codependency and my own anxieties, my own attachments to shame and the false identities we tend to have. And so, here we are. So this week has really been about awareness. So last week I talked a bit about motivators. Why was I doing what I was doing? What was I seeking to get out of what I was doing? And this week that led me to asking more about awareness. What am I aware of right now that I'm not aware of? What am I aware of that I'm denying? What am I seeking to connect with that matters in this experience, right? And it's about really connecting with the experience of where I'm going. What am I aware of? What's my intuition signaling? What's the energy of the things I'm choosing? What are the results I'm getting? What are they telling me? It's about getting in tune with that experience so I could see what my inner guidance, my inner awareness wanted me to be aware of. And it's been a real challenge because in this comes up a lot of our blocks, a lot of our beliefs about ourselves, beliefs about what's possible and what's not possible, the conclusions or explanations we come up with to explain why a thing didn't or did do what it did. And it becomes very challenging at one point or at several points, because you have to start letting go of these conclusions. You have to start letting go of the things you think are real and start receiving what's really showing up and getting really deeply honest with yourself. So when you start asking for awareness, you're going to start receiving some real clarity, some real honesty about where you're at, what drives you, what you're doing, why you're going, where you're going. And you're going to have to get really plain with yourself. It's like, hey, yeah, this is what's happening. I'm choosing this thing and I'm not choosing that over there. Why? What's my unmet need in all of this? What's my big fear in all of this? Because a lot of times that's what it breaks down to us for, right? It's fear. Fear of something happening or not happening. And when we start to deal with success and with change and with exposure that comes with leaning into love and leaning into who we are, we're going to encounter this. And our awareness is all about giving us the tools to the next step. It's not about getting it. Awareness will never lay out the whole path for you automatically. What it does is it's kind of like a light. It's like you've got your flashlight, and awareness is you point it in front of you rather than up. And you start to see a little more of the path, and you move into that, and then boom, a little more and a little more and a little more. Kind of like when you drive a car at night, you don't see the whole road, you just see what's just in front of you and a little beyond that, enough to know that you keep going and you can navigate whatever obstacle shows up. That's how awareness works, because awareness tends to stretch into the present moment and just a little beyond it, so it can sense a little bit into what might be coming, that kind of thing. And that allows you to have some intuitive responses to situations. You can intuit what might be needed or wanted there. It also opens you up to solutions to the problems you're facing, to answers to the questions you're having, and helps you develop more skill set and accomplish more things. Now, so this week it's really been about that for me. It's been about building a deeper awareness of where I'm at, what I'm needing, and where I want to go. One of the big themes that came out of my awareness was joy. And so I asked myself several questions, and I have them here actually. Let me find them. Because one of the questions is, they're all joy-based questions. What kind of relationships bring me joy? What kind of business success brings me joy? What kind of entertainment brings me joy? What kind of rest brings me joy? What kind of living situation brings me joy? What kind of way of making money brings me joy? those kind of things. I've been leaning into that and receiving this guidance, this intuition. It's like, well, this brings me joy and that brings me joy. This doesn't and that doesn't. And then I've been choosing those things. And that's been helping me see more and more where my joy is and where I am. Because if my joy's over here and I'm over here, no wonder I don't have a lot of joy. So I've been trying to unify that, come back into harmony or connection with that, so that I have more of my own joy. So that's been the adventure for me this week, is leaning into what brings me joy, receiving the guidance, the awareness that comes for me. And that sometimes that comes from, a thought or an impression or intuition. Sometimes it comes in the form of a Facebook ad or a Facebook post or an email, or a friend says something, or I'm watching a movie and that thing pops out to me. It doesn't matter how it shows up. It matters that we're willing to receive it and then listen to what it's trying to tell us. So when I receive an intuition, I ask another question. I'm like, what am I aware of about this thing that I'm not aware of? That allows me to get out of the box of conclusion, get more in tune with my intuition, more in tune with my awareness, with my presence, and make bigger decisions for myself from a place that resonates for me. So as you guys journey through your experience of becoming more autonomous, more anchored in who you are, you're going to want to practice awareness receiving what you're aware of in the moment. So you can just ask yourself that question right now. What am I aware of right now that I'm not aware of? Allow yourself to receive that. Allow yourself to tune it in and see what's really there for you. Receive it. Sometimes it's not an easy thing to take in. It's like, oh, I don't like that. And that's okay. But it's a step towards your happiness. It's a step towards your brilliance. And it's definitely a step out of codependency and out of narcissistic obsession, where we're obsessing over the narcissist. We get out of that rumination, out of that trauma, and we move forward. So that's what I've been exploring this week. I hope it's contributed to you. Let me know in the comments below what you got out of my minute this week, guys. And then I will see you guys next week for our next series of trainings. So have a great weekend, guys. Be safe. I love you. And have a great day.